Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome to a late night edition of the Gematrinator live stream. In this video, we're going to be discussing the large explosion at Philadelphia Energy Solutions that occurred overnight last night, early in June 21st, immediately after the end of June 20th. And in this video, we're going to discuss the numerology of this incident and how it was more than likely yet another staged disaster ritual playing out through the mainstream media. We're also going to look at how this event points us once again to the date August 11th this year. If you haven't seen it, please feel free to go back on my channel and check out a video I did on the numerology of the Golden Gate Bridge and August 11th and all of the interesting things I found in regards to the establishment of the Golden Gate Bridge, its construction, its opening, as well as August 11th and how there's some sort of riddle with the Golden Gate and the bridge, including the mayor, the governor of California, I should say the mayor of San Francisco. And once again, we're seeing another news story that pays tribute to this date, and we're going to explain how using the language of numerology and gematria. If you're unfamiliar with the term gematria or gematria, this is the practice of coding numbers into words, and it's the component of numerology that most people tend to ignore when studying numbers. And it's a very simple practice. We just number the alphabet 1 through 26. The reduction methods use the rules of numerology to reduce each double-digit number to a single digit. These are also called the Pythagorean ciphers. So with this event, June 21st, 2019, now I found that this date was pretty significant to begin with just by looking at the numbers as they appear on the date. Now, as many people understand, the number of the beast is 666, as revealed in the book of Revelation. And the book of Revelation is the 66th and final book of the Bible. Now, today's date, having numerology of 66, is very, very important. We arrive at this numerology by adding 6 plus 21 plus 20 plus 19. Today's date internationally is written 21/6. And the number 216 is extremely significant. This number, 216, has a prime factorization reflecting 6 times 6 times 6. And we see this attributed in the phrase mathematics of the circle, which sums to 216 and 666, this Jewish cipher based in the Latin alphabetic order, producing much larger numbers and is what I consider to be the most significant cipher outside of the base methods. So you think about that, and then also think about the year 2019. Now, if you were to flip the number 2019 upside down, you would get 6102, which is the inverse of 216. And here we get a major news story, a big fireball out of the city of Philadelphia. And why is this interesting? Well, the city of Philadelphia gets its name from the book of Revelation. Right here we're looking at Revelation 1:11, which lists off the 7 churches, one of them being called Philadelphia. So the fact that Philadelphia is on the news in such a significant date is no mistake. And what this ritual really seems to center around is the Platt Bridge, which is named after George C. Platt. Notice how in all of the videos and images of this fireball, you're seeing the Platt Bridge in the foreground. This is the bridge that's spanning the Schuylkill River, if I'm pronouncing that right, over there in Philadelphia. Well, consider that in the language of gematria, Platt Bridge sums to 66 in reverse reduction, and additionally the name Platt equals 66 using the reverse alphabetic order. And think about the date on which this explosion occurred. It was in the wee hours of the morning on June 21st. George C. Platt, who that bridge was named after, passed away on the date June 20th, which means that the date he died ended just hours before this explosion. But even more interesting is the year in which this man died. 1912. Well, if you turn this upside down, you get 2161. And I just finished talking about how today's date, 21/6, in 2019, which upside down is 6102. And then you have the man that died in 1912, which has the digits 912 in it. Now, the 66th prime number is 317. The city of Philadelphia was incorporated in the year 1701. October 25th, 1701. And on today's date, this year, Philadelphia is 317 years old. 317 is the 66th prime number. Oops. So 66, definitely the big number of this story. And think about this, right? The city of Philadelphia incorporated in 1701. So here we have the digits 171. Well, if we measure from the death of George Platt, June 20th, 1912, to the date of the explosion, it's 107 years and 1 day exactly. Now, the number 66 has a special property because it's the 11th triangular number. This means if you add every number 1 through 11, you get a sum of 66. And what I want to point at, make sure I get to this in this video before I forget. We talked about this number, 216, 219, 912. And in Revelation 6:12, there's this verse, "And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as a sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood." So here in this verse, we have an earthquake, and then something describing two different types of eclipses. The sun becoming black as a sackcloth of hair, like a solar eclipse, and the moon becoming as blood. Now here we're looking at the King James Version of the Bible, which is the Masonic Bible, and the Gematria in this edition is extremely important. Notice how here we see in the alphabetic order 612 sums to 1192. And in this verse it talks about two different types of eclipses. The word eclipse in Latin Gematria sums to 192. Again, another number with these digits upside down, 612, 219. It's all there. Also consider how this verse has 163 characters. The word earthquake equals 163 in reverse, and in the alphabetic order it sums to 107, just like how George C. Platt died 107 years ago, almost exactly to the day before this incident in Philadelphia. Coming up in about a week and a half, we're going to have a total solar eclipse, and it's the only one this year. In fact, it's the first one since the Great American Eclipse in 2017. This year's total solar eclipse falls on the date July 2nd, which is exactly 11 days after this explosion. And again, if you add every number up, 1 through 11, you get to 66. This occurred in the city of Philadelphia. Using the alphabetic order, Philadelphia sums to 101, which is a lot like the number 11. Revelation in Jewish Gematria sums to 1010, a lot like the number 11. Furthermore, using the alphabetic order, Revelation equals 121, which is 11 times 11. Pretty interesting stuff. Now, if you measure from the date of this explosion instead to the date August 11th, you get exactly 1 month and 21 days, just like the Gematria of Revelation, or 11 squared. Next, I want to point out how, in reduction, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania gives us a Gematria value of 118. Now, doesn't this look a lot like the date August 11th as it's written internationally, 11/8? Furthermore, in Jewish Gematria, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania gives us a sum of 1611. 1611 is the Gematria of August 11th using English Gematria. This English cipher, similar to Jewish and Latin. However, it's based on the current 26-letter English alphabet, again providing much larger numbers. So August 11th equals 1611, just like how Philadelphia, Pennsylvania does, and it sums to 118, just like the date is written. In the reverse alphabetic order, Philadelphia equals 223. And this is interesting for one reason, especially, I guess. 223 is the 48th prime number. Earlier, we were just looking at the values of the word earthquake, which sums to 480 in Jewish Gematria. Now, if you're familiar with my videos, you know we don't just look at the numerology of the city, we're also looking at the numerology of the mayor. In this case, Mayor Jim Kenney, born August 7th, 1858. 1958. No one that old is still alive. At least I don't think. And anyway, look how old he was on the date of this explosion. 22,233 days. Interesting, because these are the same digits from Philadelphia, 223. Additionally, this man was also 6 weeks and 5 days before his birthday. This is perfect considering that Philadelphia equals 65, and this is the date on which we saw a massive fireball in the sky, 65. By the way, all of these big disasters are all coded together. Remember how in 2015 there was a train wreck also in the city of Philadelphia? Notice how if you measure from this date, May 12th, 2015, to the date of this fireball, it's 1,501 days. And look at the Gematria of fireball in reverse, 151. I guess that could be a coincidence, but I feel silly saying that word at this point. So we're talking about the mayor. Look what year he was born in, and this is a huge part of this riddle as well. Jim Kenney was born in the year 58. In Gematria, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania sums to 1,711. If you add every number 1 through 58, it equals 1711. And August 11th this year, this date that seems so significant that we keep looking at, this year, August 11th has full numerology of 58. And what's so concerning about this is that if you measure to August 11th from the date of the last major disaster in the United States, which was September 11th, you get exactly 17 years and 11 months. And I bring this up for good reason. You know, we talked about this date, the 21st of June, 216, and how important this is. The governor of Pennsylvania, by the way, is Tom Wolfe, whose birthday falls exactly 216 days before 21/6. In fact, the state of Philadelphia was admitted on December 12th, which is 6 months, 1 week, and 2 days before June 21st. And I don't know, someone pointed this out to me. I find it pretty interesting. Combined disasters in Jewish Gematria summing to 612. And this is not the only video in which I've discussed the number 612 at length. I guess what I should do is in the description link my post to, or link to this post on the number 612, which was a huge number in all of these mass shootings, all the way back to 1996. Going to go ahead and drop this link in the stream for you guys. Okay. The last thing I want to look at here has to do with the numerology of Freemasonry. So what I'm implying in this video is that by no means was this fireball at this oil refinery a mistake. In fact, quite the opposite. This is a completely staged ritual by the numbers. And anytime you see something in relation to revelation or a solar eclipse, it often has to do with fire. And of course, this no exception here. So let's look at the gematria of the company that was involved in this incident, Philadelphia Energy Solutions. They got some pretty interesting gematria, guys. All of these ciphers seem to be really relevant. Let's start with reduction, 139. This is the ordinal value of Freemasonry, the ubiquitous secret society whose tentacles at the top of its organization appear to be giving us our mainstream news. In the alphabetic order, Philadelphia Energy Solutions sums to 319. This is a number we see in Freemasonic, 319. The word Masonic in Satanic Gematria equals 319 as well. Also notice the 223 like Philadelphia. And look at what highway passes right next to this refinery. The George C. Platt Bridge carries Highway 3019 next to the factory. How about that? Philadelphia Energy Solutions 319 and 139 and 1391. And the highway is 3019. How funny is that? In fact, this 1391 is a really interesting number. Consider how the 13th triangular number is 91, like 1391. Also, in reverse, this sums to 410. And 41 is the 13th prime number. So the number 13, one of the Masons' favorites, all over this. What about the number 2011? Mason equals 211 in Jewish Gematria, the 47th prime. Very, very significant as well. And one other thing about Masonry is if you look at the age of Freemasonry, and this traces back to the premier Grand Lodge of England, founded in June of 1717. This place was formed June 24th of that year. And if you measure from that date to the date of the explosion, you get this really interesting number of 110,300. And in numerology, this number breaks down to 113. 113, the number of deception, the number of lies, dishonesty, mainstream, all of these terms that you see on your screen, summing to 113 in either the alphabetic or reverse alphabetic orders. And of course, it's the Scottish rite of Freemasonry. The word Scottish equals 113. Also, the city of Philadelphia. Why, yes, I did mean this. We were looking at the incorporation date, which tends to be the most significant. However, the founding date of Philadelphia is October 27th. This date, 1027, a lot like the number 127. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry equals 127 in reduction. And with the S exception, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. summing to 127 as well. So what do you think, guys? Do you believe that this fireball was just an accident? If so, then you better take it as a message from God. Because to me, this is more human exhibition of the numeric knowledge that this universe operates by. The matrix code, the divine matrix, so to speak. Certainly in operation in all of our lives. And the occult, whether it's dark, whether it's light, they're certainly paying tribute to this code through the numbers and biblical numerology, which we see all the flippin' time. So yeah, thanks to everybody who jumped in on this live stream. For you guys asking if this is live, then absolutely it is. I'm usually not online this late, but yeah, I got home a little late tonight and decided to go ahead and do a video on this since I didn't have time before I left. So, thanks to everybody who jumped in and contributed. Shoutouts to Bobby once again, whose research has helped a lot when it comes to this astrological riddle behind 811, but everything else that goes into this as well. So shoutouts to everybody in the chat. Feel free to join us on our Discord as well, the link here on your screen right there in the middle, where someone's talking about numerology all the time in there. So if you ever seek more knowledge on this topic, please feel free to join. I'm usually signed in there, not always reading everything, but, you know, drop in and say what's up. Always appreciated. All right, everybody. Thanks for popping in. Whether you're watching live or archived, feel free to share, like, and subscribe as this content is facing censorship. All right, everyone. Peace, love, and God bless. See ya!